What's going on, purple belts? You come a long way. You've been working on that mobility, some stability, core work. Now we're trying to tie it all together to a functional movement. Today we're going to work on a deadlift type pattern. Now for this one, we're going to start at the bottom and work our way up. So in the position of a deadlift, you should have your feet hip width apart and your toes facing forward. Don't have a duck feet, straight forward. Now remember, we want to do the tripod type foot position. So Haley's going to bring her toes up, it increases the arch, spread out the toes and gently let it down and try to keep that arch in that foot while you do the deadlift position. With this one, we're going to use a PVC pipe. I'm going to give it to Haley. What she's going to do is she's going to have a slight bend in the knee, keep that core contracted, and we're looking for 3 points of contact with the PVC pipe. The back of the head, so I want the chin down, head back, nice stable neck, mid back, and then right around the pelvic area. So those are your 3 points of contact. So you're going to have 2 holes, your neck and your lower back. That's where your hands go to hold the pole. Okay. So what she's going to do now is this one is a hip hinge. This should be a simple movement. A lot of people squat their deadlift versus hip hinge their deadlift. So there's a slight bend in the knee, and she's going to push her hips back while still maintaining a nice straight spine. You can come on back up. Now, when you do this, the pole is there as a feedback, okay? So she's going to arch her back, which is what a lot of people do. Go ahead and bend down. Now there's a huge gap right here. That's not what we want, okay? Now, or if you start picking up heavier weight, you round, then all of a sudden you start losing contact down here. That's not what we want either. So this is just a feedback. Can you keep those 3 points of contact, bring those hips back? You should feel it. Come on back up. So say there's another pole right here, 2 feet away. I want to see if Haley can touch her butt to this pole. There you go. Right there, you should start feeling a lot of hamstring contracture. It should be tight there. If you're starting to feel it more in your quads, you're doing it wrong. So if you're doing this, great. If you're doing this, that's a squat. You're squatting your deadlift. Okay, now we want to put it into a functional movement part. So with Haley still having the pole, what I want to have her do is with one hand, whatever hand she feels comfortable with, preferably probably the top hand, to let go, she's going to grab the kettlebell, and what she's going to do is still maintain that 3 points of contact, and what she's going to do is lower her body weight down. Good. Come back up. Still try to keep this nice and tight in that mid back. There you go. Good. Back up. Now, we're going to take the pole away. So now you're going to do the traditional type kettlebell, 2 hands. Now Haley, what she's going to do is whenever she does her deadlift, she's not going to go all the way down. This is kind of like a Romanian deadlift type style. Okay. See how the kettlebell is in between her shins or in between the knees? That's where we want it. So come back up, go back down, and then at the bottom, what I'm going to have you do is drop it. If it's closer to your heels, that's great. That lets me know that the center mass is actually not really changed. It's just staying where it's at. Now, she's going to do it wrong, and she's going to drop it on her toes. That's bad. That's going to let me know that your back is doing all the work, and you're not actually translating the hips backwards to allow the hips to take most of the load. So always pay attention that I want your body to move around the center mass, the thing you're picking up. Either if that's a bar or a kettlebell, your hips are driving back. So for people at home, if you want to do this, get close to a wall. You're about 2 foot away from the wall, and then all I want you to do is set your hips back, touch the wall with your butt, and then come back up. Okay, the next progression is a single leg deadlift. So we still the same mechanics, you're just going to one leg. Now this is really good for people who are runners because they need to be strong on one leg, either long distance or sprinting, or honestly any athlete that has to stop, pivot, turn, have that stability on one leg. Now, this is a very high reward, low risk movement. So what this means is you get a lot of good muscle contraction and biomechanical feedback with not a lot of weight. You can do this body weight wise or have a little bit of kettlebell, dumbbell, etc. So you're not picking 200-300 pounds up with this bad boy like a deadlift or squat is, so the risk of getting injured is drastically less. Okay? Now we're going to go back to our stick. She's going to do her 3 points of contact. All right, now whatever arm is up behind the head, that's going to be the leg that goes back. Okay, so her left or right leg is going to be the one that's going back. So her stability leg is the left leg. So there again, bring those toes up, get that nice good arch, get stable, slight bend in the knee, good, core contracted, and she's going to just reach back with that right leg. Good. Don't forget to hip hinge here. You see how it's bending there? Go ahead and now just kind of pivot over it. Like, go ahead and do the back leg again. But just see how this one doesn't bend? That's not what we want. I actually want the hip to go backwards when she's doing this. This is nothing different than the actual deadlift itself. Okay? So it's not, I'm just pivoting over this one leg and it doesn't move. It goes backwards when you do it. You should feel a lot of hamstring contraction on this. Now here we go. Turn it into a movement with weight. You can pick a kettlebell up. Now the thing is, with this one, when you have, say, the left leg down, you're gonna hold the weight in the right arm. Same thing. I want her to almost set the kettlebell down on the inside part of her arch. That's her goal spot. There again, reach that right leg back. Good. Back up. Good. Try it again. Perfect. This one's hard. Good. Now, whenever she's doing that, when she comes back to the top, I want her to really stand up hard and squeeze that glute, keep the core contracted. So think of it a nice speed movement there. Perfect. So play around with this one. We're going to kind of work on little nuances to kind of help improve posture next.